2, 1. Hey, Wellness Week Live. What's up, everybody? This is DJ Anthony here in Jersey. I got a special guest today. Someone that I think is so cool. I've been following her now for some time. My guest is Vee. Vee, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that, DJ Anthony.
Hey, I gave you the DJ intro, ladies and gentlemen, at this time. So, Vee,
Pop, lock, and rocket.
that's right. That's right. So tell the viewers, a little bit about you and your channel and what you talk about and
Okay.
your context of what you discuss.
So my name is Vee Mindful. I'm a relationship coach and published author. On my channel, I talk about anything that's really related to relationships. And, a video took off when I talked about sex after 50, right? That topic just came to mind because I have so many conversations about sex after 50, right? My girlfriends and I are going through menopause. Well, I kind of already went through menopause. According to my blood work, I was like, really? But I
Uh,
did stop. I guess it makes sense because I did stop my period many years ago. So
okay.
I guess I did go through menopause.
All right.
But either way, I typically talk about anything related to relationships, and that does include sexual health. And my audience is now, I talk to the mature crowd because I have children. They're grown. They're adults. I have two grandsons. One just turned 9 and one
Oh,
is 3. Yeah, I'm a grandmother.
by the way, I said off camera. You honestly, I'm not gassing you up, but you look like you're in your early 30s. Now you're blowing my
I
mind. I didn't
appreciate.
even you're
I
an
know.
abuela. You're a grandmother. Holy mackerel! All right.
I know nobody when I'm with my grandson, nobody think that's my grandson. And then when I'm with my oldest son, they think that's my husband. So
Wow.
he hates that. He hates that, but it is what it is.
Kudos to you. Okay. So right. So the channel. And by the way, what is the name of your channel so people can follow you?
On YouTube, it is Be Mindful.
Okay.
And of course, Instagram.
VEE
Yep.
mindful, right? One word, no spaces.
Mindful.
V mindful.
Yep.
Check
On
her
all
out.
social media networks. Yes.
Yep. And by the way, I just want to let our viewers know, as I always say this at the beginning of all my shows, we're just two friends talking. Always check with the healthcare professionals. We're just, having a
Yes.
dialogue, our opinions. So, yeah, sex after 50. And, I don't know if you run into this, V, but maybe it's an American thing, but, you say the word sex and everyone's like, oh my God, you said sex, oh, taboo. And I feel like we do a disservice to ourselves and to people if we can't have a dialogue about something that makes us who we are as humans. Sex, it's the core of who we are. And
Yes, it
that's
is.
without sex, there is no humanity. Like it's okay to talk about it. We should. It makes, it's a good thing. We're not making a pornographic dialogue. It's about
Mhm.
humanity, affection, love, not, and yes, sex, but so sex after 50. So I'm 51,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm a single dude. I'm out there. It's a shit show, and but I don't know if you run into this, but I think yeah, as we get older, look, we're not 20 anymore, so it's
No,
like
we're not.
yeah, and I talk to my friends and family and colleagues or women that I'm dating, and it's like, oh wow, like there's this ailment, that ailment. And I'm like, wait a second, why is that? I'm like, oh, I forgot. I'm 50. Like I'm not, I forget that I'm
Yeah.
50.
Mhm.
And I mean, do you notice a lot of that out there when you talk to people and coaching people that people are struggling not only with maybe mental stuff, but literally physical ailments, correct?
Yeah, here's the thing, and I think the term is it called nurse wives?
Oh,
Right? Okay, so, there are more look, women, I tell you out here, if y'all are single, you are in luck, right? Because there are, believe it or not, people don't believe me when I say it, but the numbers support it, of course, because if you think about it, as we age, there are more single men looking for relationships than there are women looking for relationships, and if you think about it, if you actually sat and ponder on it, there are a lot of men who are looking for women to take care of them, take them to the doctors, right? Yeah, put the CPAP machine on, hand them their teeth, whatever it is. There are more men looking for women to settle
yeah.
down with. So, yeah, they have this whole term of, I'm not
Yes.
trying to be a nurse wife. So,
Right.
yes, it is absolutely. People are out here dealing with ailments. And unfortunately, people are spending their 20s and 30s and even 40s not really taking care of themselves. And so, bam, we're in our 50s. Some things, like I said in the video, are facing south.
Yep.
I did a whole video about erectile dysfunction, and I tried not to get, I tried to keep it probably too PG-13 because, I just wanted to respect,
Yeah,
the platform,
right.
right? But I wanted to be, come not, hey, if you have ED, but it was more so
Right.
from a women's perspective, right? If you're dealing with that, like, how do you mentally and emotionally deal with that? So, yeah, as we get older, it's inevitable. We're all going to face health things that will impact our sexual health.
Yeah. And I find that being single at 51, that is very true. I think
Mhm.
I don't want to speak for everybody, but because when you're single at any age, you're worried about everything like, oh, how am I going to perform or how do I look? Or, like everything's kind of a job interview. And I think for women too, and the guys that are out there listening to this, it's like, don't worry, it's normal, and women also have that pressure. Like
Yep.
everybody wants to quote unquote, be at their best, and we're all conscious of whatever, right? Like, and especially when it comes to the act of sex. Like I always say, like, and I don't, and I'm not asking you this; it's not my business. But like,
Yes.
I don't know if you're single or not. But when you're
I'm
married,
not.
what's that?
I'm not single.
Okay, yeah, because when you're married, right? And I was married before. When you're married, you don't have the pressure of the performance, so to speak. But when you're single, it's that first night together. It's like, let me tell you, like I DJ for a living, and it's more nerve wracking than when I DJ in front of 5,000 people. Like, because it's like very intimate, and
Mhm.
you want to do your best, so to speak. And so
Yeah.
it just part of me just wants to like, I wish I was like in a relationship, so I
Mhm.
don't have to deal with that. Like it's like
Well,
and by the way, I mean it's not. It's just more the anxiety of the performance anxiety. You want to do your best, whatever, right? And so when you're married, you don't really have that situation. That's the one plus, I guess.
well, Imma tell you, as people look, what I'm finding that, the longer people stay together, right, sex just becomes boring. It's a chore. "Okay, I'm gonna roll over to the right, you roll over to the left, you
Yeah.
get on top 10 strokes when you go to sleep, and Imma go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sleep."
yeah. No, I
Right,
know.
right. It becomes very robotic, right?
Right,
It's the same thing over and over again. I
right.
think, when you are single, and you get the opportunity to deal with multiple women, right, and date multiple women, I think, that is probably if you were to ask a married man, they'd be like, I miss some new
Well,
booty,
no
right?
doubt, right? Listen,
Right. So there's a positive in it.
my married friends think I'm living the life. Which listen, I'm not complaining. My DJ Anthony's life is not bad, but the one thing is like I hate the constant. Call me crazy. I love just I do much better when I'm in a relationship, and
I believe.
I do like the fact that, and you'd probably concur to this, like there is an upside, no pun intended, to being with somebody for years and years and years. You know what buttons
Yep.
to push, you know what they like, you don't have to ask. It's a nice, well-oiled machine. When it's
Mhm.
like, oh, every other month I'm with a new guys
Yeah,
out there
I
are probably like,
know.
DJ Anthony, shut your mouth. You got the no, but it's like,
Every other month, I got
well,
some new
I don't
booty.
want to. Yeah, I'm let me rewind. No, I ain't like that.
Well,
But I'm saying like dating, right? It's like so. Yeah, I'm not trying to be I'm not a Hugh Hefner, but my point is like, yeah, like I think there's something endearing and something nice about like I
yeah.
know this person, they know me. It's yes, I get it. You can make the argument, yeah, it's boring, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I love just like. I
Yeah,
know
the
this person.
yeah.
It's like my favorite pair of jeans. Like I don't have to guess. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's familiar, it's
Yeah,
safe. I think the biggest thing, honestly, about being in a committed, stable relationship is, and if both people are honoring the relationship, right? Okay, we're honoring the commitment. Now, don't get it twisted. There's some people out here not honoring the
true.
commitment.
That's a
But
problem.
I'm saying, if we are both committed, I think the safety of it all. If the relationship or the sex life gets boring, it is up to the responsibility of the couple to try something different,
Yeah,
new,
right.
so that it wouldn't just be monotonous, the same old thing. Like it does get
Oh,
boring. I'm not
and
even
I've
gonna
been
lie
there.
about that.
I've been married. I've been in long-term relationship. Totally get that. So
Mhm,
let me ask you this. So, what are some of the reasons you think people have less sex as they get older? I mean, it's a loaded question, no pun intended, but I'm sure
mhm.
there's many. But what do you hear from your clients and
Oh,
people that you
absolutely.
like? What's one of the main things that people tell you why they're not having as much sex or sex at all as they get older?
You're right. It's a loaded question, and I think it depends on the situation. So let's start with a married couple. Okay, let's just say somebody, or not even, it ain't got to be married because I'm not married anymore. I was married, got divorced. I was married a long time, got divorced. Now I'm in a long term committed
Right.
relationship, and I'm not even, marriage. I personally don't believe that you have to be married
Yeah,
in
it's another
order to have
show,
the
but
great.
I agree with
Yeah,
that too.
that's just my personal
I
opinion.
agree. I got you. Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, okay, good. Well, let's say you're in a long-term relationship. Like we just said, sex does become a little bit, predictable, right? It's very predictable. I know what kind of action I'm going to get. I know how long it's going to take, right? I know I know what the tricks up the sleeve are, right? Because we've been there, we've done
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then because it's become so predictable, people just don't feel like doing it anymore. So, and a lot of times because of that, we just in a routine, and sex is part of everything in the relationship has become part of this routine, and things fall off, right?
Yeah.
But then there are health reasons.
Right.
There's a lot of women like menopause is now getting so much attention, and rightfully so. I remember when my mother was going through menopause. I remember my sister and I, when we were much younger, we were like, God damn, we hope we never act like that, because my mom would just quirk out, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was something that we saw. But now they're learning like menopause has so many impacts to the body.
Yeah.
If you look back at the comments on the video, so many people said, I have no interest in sex ever
Oh,
again.
really?
Yeah, I
See now.
don't want it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like I said, I'm dating women in their late 40s and 50s, and maybe because I'm on the dating scene, everyone's putting up their best efforts. I don't see that, but then again, I'm not in a long term relationship, so that kind of scares me. Okay, women don't want, or men don't
There's
want.
a lot of women who don't want to have sex anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm I want to do a show about that, because the sexual, like, what happens? What do you do if you're in a long-term relationship? You still want to have sex, and your partner physically can have sex,
Yeah.
because then we could talk about you're not even able to, but physically you can still have sex. But what happens when they don't want it? What do you do? Do you cheat?
Uh,
What do
yeah.
you do?
Yeah, well, you're right. And let me ask you though, I'm not being funny here when I say, do you think that men go through a quote unquote menopause? Like, because men's hormones change too as they get older. You're right, ED, a loss of testosterone. I have friends that are
Yes.
on, testosterone replacement and on Cialis for that. I mean, like, I think rightfully so, we should focus on women and their changes. But men are human beings. We go through changes too,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And to your point, here's what I would say. Uh, Tell me what you think about this next statement. Okay, I'm married for 30 years, 40 years, whatever. I don't want to have sex anymore because I just don't want to. But there's a
Mhm.
lot of things I don't want to do. I don't want to cook tonight either, but I'm going to
Yeah.
cook because I love you. We have a decent relationship. Now, if you have a horrible relationship and it's toxic, that's a different story. But like,
Yeah.
if we have a decent relationship, okay, honey, like I'll do it. What do you want me to do? Like, I'll do it
Yeah.
because I love you. And I think people make sex like the violins have to come out and the chandelier has to come out. Everything else they'll work at, but sex, no, I think sex has to be scheduled. It has to be something that, hey, maybe I have erectile dysfunction. Okay, but there's other ways I can please you, honey.
There's
Or
other
maybe the
ways to be
woman,
intimate. Mhm.
right? Maybe the woman can't perform in a certain way, but there's other things she can do too to please her man or woman or whatever. I think that's important. No?
No, you know what? I think it's very important. I think when you have signed up to be in a relationship, and your relationship is going well for many years, this is just my opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just, I coach people through this, and even have been through periods of like this, right? But when you've signed up to be in a relationship, I do believe physical intimacy, sexual intimacy is part of the relationship. I
Oh
do
yeah.
not believe one person can just say, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. I'm not going to please you anymore or whatever. But, there are medical reasons, though,
Of course.
that need to be discussed. But I
Right.
believe that if those are the reasons that's preventing you from, being intimate with your partner, please go get the medical help that you need,
Yeah.
because I personally don't think it's fair, to put your other partner in that. This is if you're physically still able to perform,
Right.
because there are reasons, there are people who physically can't perform. There's things that women go through, not just menopause, but I did an episode about the pelvic floor.
Uh-huh.
Now, and I'm interviewing a doctor tomorrow about the pelvic floor
Oh, nice.
on my show. And the thing is, the pelvic floor, is what's men have it too. Okay, if you're noticing that you're not able to hold your pee
Right.
well because something comes out, your pelvic floor is weaker. But with women, we have the opening, right? We have the vagina, right,
Right.
and it's opens, right. And if your pelvic floor is weak, your pelvic floor, the muscle,
Sag.
the organs that's being held up by your pelvic floor can sag, can protrude, can even it won't detach because it's attached to organs, but it can fall through your opening. And it actually happened to my girlfriend to
Oh,
when she
wow.
was running.
Whoa.
Yes, her uterus fell out
Whoa.
through her vagina and she had to push it back. Yes, to get to the doctor. So that stuff like that can happen.
Right.
And that's why it's like it's important to have those conversations. And if that is something that has happened to you, like that might prevent you from having comfortable sex,
Right.
right? So you have to seek the medical help that you need, but you got to have these conversations with your partner, like she and I talk. And I'm like, are you able to physically have sex with your husband
Right.
anymore because of she had the surgery, the
Right.
vaginal mesh, and all this other
Right.
stuff? She said it took conversation, communication to where this position is comfortable for me,
Right.
this position is not,
Right.
right? So we got to talk to each other. We
Yeah.
can't just check out, right?
Yeah.
She didn't just check out. She said, you know what, I want to please my husband,
Right.
but I don't want to be in pain doing it either.
Right. Well, you mentioned that. Well, two things I want to say, just not to go off on a tangent or a rabbit hole here, but and if two people are just, I don't want anyone listening to this thinking like there's something wrong with them. If both partners don't want sex, that's cool too. Hey, God bless. You don't want to have sex, you don't want to be intimate. That's fine. If it works for your relationship,
Mhm.
you can do you. But most humans want affection and sex. The other thing I wanted to say is like, you mentioned like the conversation of men talking, and you tell me. I mean, I think men, generally speaking, are very machismo and don't want to open up. And it's like, yes, men are told to shut up, suck it up, just be a man. That's
I know.
detrimental, especially in an
It
intimate
is.
relationship. If you can shut up to the whole world, but not your wife or your partner, like or
I
girlfriend or
know.
boyfriend, like this is the moment where you're supposed to be vulnerable. And I'm not saying cry. You want to cry, it's fine, but like, yeah,
Mhm.
talk. Like, hey, honey, what can we do if we can't do this or that, or I want to do this or that, or you know, and I also wanted to ask you, like, or mention, I did a show a couple of days ago on affection. I think if you have sex only but no affection, that's almost like just it's a transaction. There's nothing like affection's important,
I know. It
and
is
men
important.
want to be held and hugged too, and
Mhm.
women too. And I think if I've been in relationships where I just had sex but no affection, and it was empty, kind of, and it's nobody's fault. It just was. But my point is, talk about that, like affection in sex. Not just coitus and intercourse, but hugging, kissing, words of affirmation. Honey, you look hot. Baby, you look hot. I mean, what do you
Yeah.
think about that?
You know what? Let's even back up even further here. If there's no sexual chemistry in the relationship, one of the reasons is because there's no polarity. I talk about the masculine and the feminine imbalance or balance, right?
Right.
If you are a man and you find that your woman is showing up to be really masculine, I don't mean that she's wearing He-Man t-shirts and chopping down trees in the backyard. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about that at all. I'm
Right.
talking about she's doing too much. She's overdoing it, right? And by the time she gets into bed, when soon as her head hits that pillow, she is knocked out because she has been in doing mode all day long, right? She's making decisions that she don't feel like making.
Yeah.
She's not living in she's not allowed to be.
Right.
That's why the balance is important. Men, you're going to have to pour into her and you're going to have to make her feel like, she can be a woman. And then what you'll see is the polarity. And it goes both ways. Women, we can't, emasculate our men. We got to make them feel like men,
Right.
right? And then what you'll have is the polarity, and then you'll be able to have some sexual chemistry. I date the this opposite sex, right?
Right.
And so I my girlfriends are females. I don't want to sleep with my girlfriends. There's no polarity there. Like
Right.
but with my man, there's polarity. And
Right.
I'm not saying
Right.
because he's of a different sex. I'm saying I allow him to be masculine.
Yeah.
He allows me to be feminine, even though we struggle sometimes with my femininity,
I get it.
but dang it,
No, I
I
get it.
do a lot,
Right.
but either way, like first start there. If there's no sexual chemistry, why don't you look at your relationship?
Yeah.
Because your relationship might be off. Okay, so that and then the affection to answer your question, hell yeah, it's important.
Right.
It's important to flirt. You know what? Because I want to feel desired. Don't you want to feel desired, DJ Anthony? Don't
Oh,
you want to feel like I want you? You
100.
know, absolutely. So women, we got to make our men feel wanted. We want them. They're handsome. It doesn't take much to please a man. I'll be the first one to say that. It really
You're right about
doesn't
that.
take much, right?
Yeah.
Words of affirmation, baby, you are so sexy. I
Yeah.
tell my man all the time, I love your lips. Like he has the most beautiful lips. I love
Okay.
those lips,
Okay.
right?
Right. Right.
But build them up.
Love languages, they say, right? What
Absolutely.
applies to you or your man that you like or don't want or was whatever, right?
Yeah.
By the way, you touched on the sex thing too, and tell me what you think about this statement. So I say sex is like a canary in a cave. If you're having a lot of sex, whatever that means for the person, couple, that usually correlates with a healthy relationship. If you're having no sex or very little, one can assume you probably don't have a good relationship. Is that a fair assessment?
You have so much, because let me tell you something. You can have a decent relationship without sex because, though, here's the thing 80%, and the number is constantly changing. About 80% of relationships want to have that polarity where men are primarily the masculine and women are primarily in the feminine role. But about 10% of relationships work where we are buddy buddy. You and I, DJ Anthony, be buddy buddy. I like your company, you like my company.
But there's
We
no
have a
sex.
good time. We are friends and we're in a relationship. And you know what? We like it that way.
Yeah.
And those relationships though will see less sex.
Well, yeah, kind of what I said before too, right? If you're in a relationship that it's like you're right,
Yeah.
you're more on the platonic tip,
Yep.
and you're husband and wife or husband and husband, wife and wife, whatever, and that works
Yep.
for you. Hey, God
Yep.
bless. Whatever works for the
It works for
couple.
them. They
Right,
don't they like it.
right. But most humans want to have
Yep.
sex, and
Most people want the
the question
intimacy.
is how
Yeah.
much works for the couple. So yeah, so let me ask you this: what is one reason, and I'll do for both sexes, when you encounter men that are saying they have a problem in their union with their significant other? What's the number one reason that you hear from men why they don't want sex?
They're not physically attracted to the woman anymore.
Right. That's okay.
And it's
And
unfortunate. My thing is, I'm big on y'all, we gotta talk about it, and and women and men may not even like me saying this, but y'all, we gotta take care of ourselves. We
you mean, yeah,
don't
exercise,
yes,
workout, yeah.
exercise, workout, invest into yourself. And women, I'm not talking about wear a prom dress every day because
No,
trust
I
and
get
believe
it.
I do not.
Right.
As much as my man would like me to wear lingerie to bed, I do not. I raised three sons, and the
Right,
thought of
right.
them coming in the room when they were, grown when I was
Yeah, yeah.
raising them, seeing me naked, so I was sleeping sweats.
Right,
But
right.
either way, you're gonna have to invest into your appearance. You're gonna have to go to the gym. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not okay for you to put on 40, 50, 100 pounds. It's not. It's
Right.
not. You want to still, have your partner to be sexually attracted to you. But not even that. When you put on a lot of weight or your appearance changes, let's say within your control, because sometimes it changes with outside of your control, right?
Understood.
But but within your control, I promise you, are not showing up to be the most confident person. And
Right,
that absolutely will impact your relationship as well. So it's not let me look good for my man or my woman. No, but you got to look good for yourself. You got to look
right.
good and feel good for
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
because we want you to show
Right.
up to be the best version of you.
Yeah, and to your point too, I'm a big proponent of that. What we eat and
Yeah.
exercise, and no one's saying run a marathon, but it's also taking care of your health, so you
Yes.
can have less probability of cancer, less probability of heart disease. I mean, and on
Yeah.
top of, yes, you want to look good, but like you say, you want to feel good, you want to be healthy, you don't want to be
Yes.
rotting. And it doesn't take a lot. I hate when people make excuses. Like, dude, walking is free. Last time I checked, and drink water, not soda. That's
Yep.
you don't need money for that. So to your point about the man not being attracted to the woman, and we're going to get to the woman's reason, but I also find like they're not. it doesn't take much to, like, brush your teeth, comb your hair, wear clothes that
It
fit.
doesn't.
Like,
Take a shower.
honestly, yeah. And I know people in my family, I know people in my friend circle. It's like, dude, you look disgusting. And I know you have a better shirt. I know you could brush your hair. Like, come on, dude. Like, like, there's
Yes.
no excuse.
Hygiene matters.
Right.
Like, just imagine y'all going to bed at night. Where you want my mouth to go where? And
Yeah.
you ain't washed nothing. You
Yeah.
tripping. Like,
100%. It's
wash
nothing.
it.
Right. And it really drives me nuts. Like, I've gone on some speed dating things over the years on and off, and it's a lot of fun. And I feel like I'm a sociologist because I'll see guys walk into these speed dating events. Not all the
Mhm.
guys, but like maybe 10%, 20% of guys that walk in. And I'm like, wow, this dude didn't even comb his hair, didn't even wear like clean like, are you serious? Like, like, it's just amazing. And you can't, I hate the excuses. It's like, dude, tuck your shirt in. That costs nothing to do that.
I
Well,
know.
and I
I
think
know.
men are worse than this. When women, generally speaking, tend to be a little bit more, makeup and nails. Us
Yeah.
guys, it's like, man, once they get out of high school or college, it just goes friggin' south real quick.
Yep. And we
And,
gotta stop that. We
yeah,
gotta
and
stop
it's
that.
no excuse to say, well, I have kids. Everybody's got kids. Oh, you have a job. Wow, what do you do? Like, okay,
I
and
do too.
yeah, it's like take pride in not only your inner health but your outer health. And so now,
Yes.
what's the thing that women say that you find? What's the number one reason that women say they don't want sex with their man?
The thing is with women, okay, and see, here's the thing. They say women are emotional creatures, and I'm not even going to sit there and say that we are because you have a lot of women that do not get emotionally tied to a man just because we have connected in an intimate way. So let's get over that mess right here because that's not true. But a lot of women in relationships, if they feel like they're not being heard,
Mm.
their emotions are not being validated, their man is not the one that's like he's not listening, he's downplaying her emotions, he's not paying attention to her emotions, she will physically check out.
Right. By the way, I've had that happen to me. I've been in relationships with women that I was not listening, and I was
Yep.
being very headstrong, and yeah, they checked out, and I couldn't
Yeah.
understand why. And through life, live and learn. For some people, I did
Hmm.
learn the hard way. But yeah, so now
Yep.
I'm better at that. And so women, yeah, I get it. So if they don't feel heard and seen,
And
then
validated. The thing
validated.
is, I did a whole episode on it. The thing is, it's not, we're not asking for you to agree.
Right.
Let's be clear. I'm not saying, I want you to agree with my grievances, but women, we got to learn how to bring up our grievances in a mature way, right? No yelling, no, no blaming,
Right.
just saying, XYZ made me feel a certain way. And here's the thing what a lot of men do, and women too. So it's not a masculine thing, but people do, we just start being defensive. I have to now we're in court. You're the lawyered
Yep.
up, I don't
Yep.
lawyer it up, and
Yep.
we are now defending our cases instead of, you know what, babe, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. If that's how you felt, that was never my intention. That's all you literally have to say. Not, you know what, okay, but that's because I was doing XYZ and I don't even know why you feel like that because I did it. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
now she's got to defend her stance and now she has to defend her feelings.
Yeah.
And you have lost a complete loss of her emotional well-being. And if you keep doing that, I promise you, she will check out.
Yeah. To your point, because when I was younger, I used to treat the women that I would be with like, oh, they're just like me. And no, women are,
We're
yes,
not.
obviously women and men are humans, but now as I've gotten older, I think I just discovered this maybe yesterday. Oh wait, women are different. Oh my God.
Mm,
Women are different because I think,
yes.
but V, I don't know if you find this, but I think society and the noise, I mean, news, tries to push a narrative that men and women are exactly the same, exactly the same, exactly the same.
Yeah.
And equality is great, for job positions and things like that. But you know what? We're different though. We're different. We
Yep.
communicate, and when men and women especially men, when men understand, hey, yes, a woman is a human being like I am, but we are attracted, like you said, the polarity. We're
Yeah.
different. That's what makes it so beautiful. That we are different. That should be celebrated. And I think a lot of guys, I know myself, I just learned that recently. I'm like, oh shit, women, they are different. Like, and I
We
have
are
to
different. Yes,
understand that. Now I get that. And it's a damn shame it takes 51 years, and some men never learn it. But the sooner you can learn
I
that,
know.
the better. And
Yes. And
and
I
to
will tell you, if a man really learns that about a woman, he could probably get any woman that he wants.
right,
Take care of himself,
yeah,
look good,
right,
be kind, be polite. Yes,
yeah,
women do like nice guys,
yeah,
but actually listen to her. And I don't mean listen to her, well, in third grade, I got a dog, and
yeah.
then I
No, I
joined the
get it. Yeah,
cheerleader squad. No, I'm talking about if she brings up an issue, just how it made her feel. Like if a man really does that,
right.
y'all, I'm telling you, your
You got it, baby.
relationship. Yes,
It's gonna be raining down on you.
you'll get women all over because they want it's so many men out here not listening to their
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah, good point. And by the way, I would also say, because us going back to us men being tough and shut up. Uh, Again, we're different, but men, also want to be listened to.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, they
I
do.
don't know if you've heard this, but I'm totally I love sociology and psychology, and there was a study about the reasons why men go to prostitutes, and one of the big reasons, aside from sex, was that oftentimes the
They
prostitutes
probably listen.
yeah. I
It
mean,
is.
I'm watching HBO documentary, and the prostitutes are saying a lot of times they don't even have sex. They just sit there and they listen to the man,
I
whatever,
know.
whine and complain. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But you
No,
know
no,
what?
you're right.
I
You're
I
right.
mean, men are humans too, and this is also we are the same, but we are different, and there are some similarities. Again, men want to be held and heard too, but I think generally speaking, yes, women may want to be heard, whatever, a little bit more
It's just
possibly.
the
But
emotional validation. The thing is, as I will tell women, y'all, if a man is opening up, listen.
right,
Listen and don't weaponize what he's telling you like you get into an argument because that's
right,
the worst thing anybody can
yeah,
do.
don't do
You
that.
now we're having a discussion
Yeah.
later and then you like, well, you know what? That's why your daddy,
Yeah.
and it's like, hold
Uh,
on now,
yeah.
that man is never going to open up to you again. We have
Right.
to be respectful when it comes to our disagreements. Don't ever do that.
Yeah.
And
Vice
yes,
versa. Right.
yes, and I agree. Men want to be held, loved on, built up, validated as well. People need to learn how to communicate. That's why, I talk to couples about let's learn how to communicate to each other better.
Yeah. And I think women are better, generally speaking, at communication. Us men
Yeah.
really are not, generally speaking, and because it's seen as weak, it's seen as you're being a sissy, you're being a wimp. Shut up, just shut up. And that's why men
Yeah.
die younger. Men die and
I
struggle
know.
more in life because men tend to clam up when we really you got to talk to somebody. And if it can't be the one you love, then I don't know, get a therapist. But like
Yes.
honestly, yeah, if you can't talk to the person you're married to or dating or with, that's not a good sign either. But yeah, men
It's
are
it's not.
us guys
Yeah.
are horrible at communicating, generally speaking. But
That's
um,
true, and they internalize a lot, and being a mom to 3 adult sons, I see it,
oh yeah, right.
and yeah, and I don't like
Everything's
it.
good. No, no problem. No problem.
I
Meanwhile, there's a
know, I
problem.
know,
Yeah,
I know, but it's like, you could t if you can't talk to your mother,
yeah,
and I feel like I'm an excellent mother,
yeah, yeah,
trust me, you can trust me,
yeah,
right? But yeah, I do see a lot of men with no I had a client who just kept hiring me honestly because he had nobody to talk to. And and of course I would give him dating advice and relationship advice, but I really just sat there to really listen to him and the things that he's going through. So you're right.
yeah. I think yeah,
I want a prostitute. I should say a
no.
relationship client.
No, 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 no. But I also would say that oh, and I just slipped my mind here that sex is also a form of communication. So it's not just sex to have an orgasm, but when just like holding hands and kissing and hugging and talking and sex is an intimate form of communication.
Mhm.
Through well, I mean, we're exchanging pheromones, we're exchanging literally bacteria. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's
Energy. We're exchanging
energy.
energies.
It's a it's
Yes.
a, it's a dialogue. Sex. It's not just coitus and intercourse, but it's important. And yeah, as you know, when I was younger, I also thought that sex is not that important. No, it's important because, like I said, it's a form of communication and it makes us who we are. So V, in closing, would there anything else that you want to impart on us before? And I want to respect your time and thank you for coming on Wellness Week.
Well,
Is there anything
thank
else that
you.
parting words you like to bestow upon us?
I will say for those, because we were talking about the relationship pieces, but for those who are single, and being single after 50, here the thing is there's a lot of single people after 50.
Oh
Please do
yeah.
not, yes, please do not be out here thinking you're all alone. No, because you're not. Like they say, this time period right now, we have the most single 50 and over
Yep.
crowd that
Yep.
we've ever had. Excuse me, that we've ever had before.
Yeah.
So, please just be open to meeting people of all backgrounds, because we never know what love is going to look like,
Yep.
right? We got to be open minded.
Yeah.
So what you liked when you were 22, 23, yeah, that was great. Oh, he be tall, dark, and handsome. Baby girl, he might be,
Yes.
he might be 4'11,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying go for that. But I'm
Yeah, I
saying
get you.
we gotta be more open minded.
Yeah.
Bring the good energy out here. Focus on your mindset, focus on being more positive,
Yeah.
and appreciating life,
Yeah.
right? So if you're single out here, please don't be discouraged. There's a lot of people out here looking for somebody just like you. Just focus on you and
Yeah.
creating the best version of you.
Yeah, no, well said. And take it from me. I'm single. I'm 51. I'm on the dating scene. And as much as I like to joke and say it's a shit show, there's a lot of wonderful things about dating
Yeah.
in
Yep.
your whatever mature years, your 40s and 50s. I mean,
Yep.
I feel young again. I feel like I'm 15 again. I feel alive. I get the butterflies and the jitters, and I feel so blessed because it's like, my friends who are married, although a lot of them have good marriages,
Hmm.
there's everything's a pro and a con, and the pros of being single is like, wow, again, I feel like, oh my god, it's the first date tonight, this is exciting, I can't wait,
Yeah.
and it feels great, I feel alive, and so it's not all bad and negative. There's so much good out there, there's so much awesome out there, there's so many
Yes.
good people out there you're going to meet, and I always say,
Yep.
whether you're married or single, the best is yet to come for us all, and that's how I see it. um
Hmm. But
anyway.
you know what? Wait. Those who are married, if your marriage, let's say you've been married a long time and your marriage has gone stagnant, y'all try something new. And
Yes.
I mean, it has to be, the thing is, I said this in the video, but it's true. It has to be something new for the both of you.
Right.
It can't be new for one person,
Correct.
because, when it's grown stagnant, you've kind of run out of things to talk about. You don't talk about every damn thing else. And now you find that you're just talking about your kids or your grandkids, but
Yeah.
you're not talking about anything that excites you anymore. And that's
Right.
why you have to create it. So
Yeah.
get out here and join, I don't know, the hiking club,
Right. Right.
whatever.
Right. Get
That's
out.
why those who travel,
Yes.
go to new places, they
Yes.
tend to stay together because they're doing new adventures, together, going
Right.
to new places. So please bring the fire back into your relationship.
Yeah, well said. Because, and again, it doesn't take a lot of money. A lot of it could be free too. Taking free
Yep.
courses at your library, or going out for a
Yes.
walk, or meeting up with friends. Like, right, you gotta don't wait for the feeling to come. Go do it, and then the feeling
Yeah,
will
because
come.
feeling, yes, the feeling ain't gonna come on its own.
No.
You have to become it.
Right, right, and marriage is a beautiful thing, and if you're in a
Yes,
marriage
it
and like
is.
you said, it's a little stagnant, that's okay. You can change that, and
Yep.
it's awesome, and you have an opportunity to do so. You have a great man or woman in your life. That's great, and that's my goal for myself in the future. I want to find my person and be in that long term relationship, and I think that's a beautiful thing too. So, but V, thank you so much for your time,
Thank
and
you
and
for
by the way,
having me.
one more time, where can they find you on your channel on YouTube?
Yeah, my channel is Vee Mindful. So V like Victor
Yep,
Mindful
yep, one word.
on YouTube. And yeah, please follow me on YouTube. And if you have any questions or comments about relationship topics, y'all, I read every single comment people leave me, and I
Oh,
respond to every single comment. Even if it be 2,000 comments on my video,
oh, that's
I
awesome.
will respond. So if you have a question or comment, you want me to do a video response to it, I will absolutely do that.
Oh, awesome. And then also on Instagram, your handle
I'm
is
V Mindful, one word, V Mindful Coach.
okay on Instagram. Great. So follow her, folks. V,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for making time on Wellness Week here. And thank you, everybody. Like, subscribe. I'm going to sign us off in 5 seconds. Again, thank you, V, for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank
Five,
you.
four, three, two, one. Bye bye.